Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Now, in my last video I reviewed this album, Sleeping with the Past, Elton John's 1989 album, and I said at the time that there were two bonus tracks which I wanted to look at in a separate video, and also to look at some of your comments that have come in since I published my review. Now, the two bonus tracks, they don't actually appear on my CD but must appear on later versions of it, are Dancing in the End Zone and Love is a Cannonball. Both of these fairly upbeat tracks. So let's have a look at the first one, Dancing in the End Zone. This is an Elton and Bernie composition about a broken relationship when the shattered glass just splinters. But even if you have a broken relationship, apparently kind of ABBA style, you can go on dancing in the end zone. That's some sort of metaphor, I suppose. This is a fairly simply structured song. It's uplifting and it's kind of a cheerful sing-along refrain. It feels like a kind of big ensemble number with backing vocals and with instrumentation such as brass, but that might of course be synthetic brass rather than real brass. And there's a slight echo of Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting chords in the instrumental break. Now, I reckon the bass line is a little bit like another Elton John composition, Wrap Her Up. So let's just hear a little bit of an extract. So just a touch reminiscent of this one, this Wrap Her Up, which was kind of an exciting sort of Elton song as well. So quite a pleasant listen. Let's just hear the vocal come in. So there's a lot going on in the mix here. It's quite a pleasant listen. I quite enjoy this one, I suppose. Nothing especially unusual or exciting about it. But I reckon this one could have appeared on this album and perhaps dropped a couple of the tracks which I don't particularly enjoy on this, Durban Deep and Stone's Throw from Hurting. We could perhaps have taken those out and added in these two bonus tracks. But I know there are fans of both of those original tracks out there, and I'll be dealing with that in a minute. So I reckon for this one, Dancing in the End Zone, I think it's a fairly good track. I'm going to give it 5 out of 10. Now, track 12 is Love is a Cannonball. This is an Elton and Bernie composition with some help from David Johnston. This was the B-side of Sacrifice on its first release. And it's about each man kills the things he loves. Some interesting imagery in here. It's an edible romance we all dream of. This is an exciting, pulsating and fun track that starts off a little bit like Healing Hands. That's very similar drumming, isn't it? This is obviously a rocky, soul-y number. It's got a little bit of brass on it as well, which probably isn't real brass, but it's pleasant in there. And I reckon this would make a pretty good, exciting live performance from Elton. The vocal line is fairly unremarkable, but it is an exciting song. Now, what would I compare it with? Well, I reckon Mona Lisa's and Manhattan's Part 2 is a little bit like this, and other songs, Act of War, or, as I've just mentioned previously, Wrap Her Up, are both in the same sort of vein. Let's hear a bit more of it. This is the refrain. And back into the next verse. So it's quite an attractive song, this, easy to listen to, again, uplifting. Again, nothing remarkable about it, and that's perhaps why it's down here as a bonus track. But I quite enjoy this one. A little bit better than the previous one. I would give this a good rating. Love is a Cannonball. Now, since I posted my first review on Sleeping with the Past, quite a few of you have written in with your comments. So let's just see what your favourite tracks were and which ones you didn't like on the album. Mr. Quayle goes for Stone's Throw from Hurting as an excellent track. Well, I really rated that quite lowly, but it shows how you have different tastes, doesn't it? YS agrees with me that Healing Hands is the best track on the album. one of those. Marhan says it's his favourite album. That's really interesting. He can't name a song that he doesn't like on the album. Now that's really interesting that people would put this ahead of Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Don't Shoot Me, Madman Across the Water, Captain Fantastic, and actually say it's a favourite album. So again, it shows lots of people have different tastes and lots of people like different aspects of Elton's music. And that's great because he's moved through so many different phases. You can like his early stuff, his middle stuff, his late period stuff, or all of it, as I do. NG says, in their opinion, it's his best album by far since Blue Moves. Not one dud song on it. And they saw Elton performing Healing Hands live at a concert in 1993, and the crowd loved it. Well, I would love to see Elton performing Healing Hands live. It's such an uplifting song. Chris Booth also likes that song. And he remembers turning up the radio volume when it was on back in the day. It should have charted higher. Chris likes Durban Deep more than I do, but agrees that the album is a little uneven in the strength of its songs, but an improvement on Red Strikes Back. Okay, now Ellie Menzel, who's a regular correspondent of mine, agrees with me, but she likes Stone's Throw from Hurting, which is a good song. She likes the comparison with An Innocent Man that I made, and saying that Durban Deep is not that bad a track. There are plenty of tracks out there worse than was this one. She agrees that Blue Avenue is a beautiful song. Well, let's move on to some other comments now. Galito says that his favourite tracks are Sleeping with the Past, Dancing in the End Zone, which I've just reviewed, and Love is a Cannibal. Well, I think those last two are pretty good songs, actually, and it's a pity they weren't on the original album. Adam Harris says this is the first Elton album he listened to. He agrees it's uneven, but the high points are Club at the End of the Street, Healing Hands, and Blue Avenue. I'm absolutely in agreement with you, those. Those three songs to me are the strongest, and they actually grow on me every time I listen to them. However, Adam says, my favourite track has always been Sleeping with the Past. That is strong as well. And he says Stone's Throw is a clunker. Well, I think probably agree on that. Alessandro says it's a great album. The Vinyl Music Live, which is my good friend Lawrence, he's commented that Healing Hands is his best song from that era. Yeah, it's such a strong track that. It's almost like a Eurovision track, isn't it? It's got that sort of positive message from that. Mark Warrington says it's a great album. 007's having a go at me because I don't like echo on Elton's vocals. Well, I'm not that keen. I just think it's unnecessary, and the way it spoils it. Elton's got a great voice, they're great songs. Why do we need that echoey sound? But I suppose it was a kind of a fad at particular times on production. And Daniel calls it a rather mediocre album, too much echo and uninspired songs. His favourite songs are Stone's Throw from Hurting, Sacrifice, and Blue Avenue. I'm certainly with you on the second two of that. Blue Avenue is such an underrated track, isn't it? It's just one of those simple songs, really strong lyrics on there, strong metaphors. You can really feel what the lyricist, what Bernie's on about there, and Elton's given it a really appropriate setting. Anyway, thanks for those. Keep them coming in if you want to. I really enjoy listening and reading to your comments there. And it shows how we all care passionately about our great leader, Elton. Anyway, I'm going to be back soon with another album review and possibly a hidden gem. Got a few of those backing up now, and I'll see you soon. Don't forget, we're still standing.